A tough, rational new federal law designed to fight terrorism and to secure our borders and ports is now being criticized. Montana's governor, Brian Schweitzer, is leading a revolt against a new driver's license law, a revolt of governors. And as Bill Tucker now reports, the governor's opposition could make life difficult for state residents.
Few states are as committed to the opposition of Real ID as Montana. Real ID, passed by Congress and signed into law by President Bush 3 years ago, establishes a national set of standards for states' driver's licenses to meet in order to be considered secure licenses. The Montana legislature has voted not to comply with the act. Now Montana's governor, Brian Schweitzer, is taking the lead in what he hopes will become a revolt against the federal legislation. In letters to the governors of 17 other states, Governor Schweitzer is, quote, asking you to join with me in resisting the DHS coercion to comply with the provisions of Real ID. I would like us to speak with one unified voice. Those opposed to Real ID call it an unfunded mandate and raise privacy concerns, saying compliance amounts to a Big Brother-style national ID, a claim that proponents dispute.
Actually, it's not a national ID card because it's not produced by the national government. It's not produced by the federal government. It's produced by state government. So by definition, legally and constitutionally, it's a state ID.
States are allowed to opt out of Real ID. It is not mandatory. But if they opt out, their driver's licenses will not be considered secure by federal standards. That means citizens of those states won't be able to use their driver's licenses to enter federal buildings or board airplanes. States have until May 11th to file for an extension of the rules. An extension gives a state until 2014 before they must meet the requirements. And so far, 34 states have either set aside money or legislatively begun to accommodate the move to comply with Real ID, according to the Coalition for a Secure Driver's License. Only 5 have passed opposition opposing it, suggesting that Governor Schweitzer is perhaps waging a little bit of an uphill battle here, Lou.
Well, it's an uphill battle. It is also, I've talked with Governor Schweitzer on a number of issues in years past. Typically a rational fellow. This seems to be absolutely straightforwardly counter to the interests of the citizens of Montana.
You would think so, but the state has been stalwart in their opposition to it. Has a weird alliance of groups out there. The National Rifle Association and the ACLU have actually gotten together to fight Real ID in the state.
Well, I haven't got much problem with taking them both on if they're wrong, and if they're joined together here. Boy, that sounds like a marriage made in hell, doesn't it? The ACLU and the NRA.
It's an interesting set of bedfellows.
The governor's got quite a reach there. We're going to find out more about that. Bill Tucker, thank you very much. Well, we'll be